What's going on, everybody? It is Triple Crown 24 back today, and I have a bit of somber news. As late last night, I found out that I had lost a friend of mine and a colleague to many in the sports card community. His name is Archie. A lot of you who may watch the vlogs who are local to me, or at least in the Midwest area, have probably seen Archie's show, or if you're in any of the sports card show Facebook groups, you've probably seen Archie at least post before. And this is a tremendous man that we lost yesterday, and I wanted to make a little tribute video to him and kind of and talk about um, how I'll remember Archie. And a lot of it has to do with his character and how he ran the show. Personally, look, I met Archie at the show, right? I wasn't someone who was hanging out with him outside of the show settings, but when I messaged him on Facebook, he just seemed like a genuine dude. He was someone who, when I was set up at shows, the last few times I was set up right next to him, he got me a table right next to him. And we would just talk about life. He would ask me about how I'm doing, how's the show scene down in the Cincinnati area? How was the drive up here? Do you need anything? And there are people who will hear what you have to say, and there are people who listen to what you have to say. He was someone who heard and listened to what you had to say. He would take it in and he would ask you questions about that. And it wasn't just surface level stuff. He would really take an interest in you. And I can't tell you how rare that is to have someone like that. And from what I could see, he was always like that to everybody. And again, I'm speaking on my personal experience, but just based on the reception that I can see in the Facebook groups and a few other friends of mine who have posted things up on Instagram with a link to what you see on screen here, he touched a lot of people in the hobby, whether it was his dealers, the customers, or even just people who knew of him. He had such a profound impact on so many people, and the amount of that impact, I think, is really reflected by how much love, passion, dedication he put into his show. Archie promoted the heck out of that Plainfield show. I give him tremendous props, and I would tell him that every single time. There are very few people that I could put up there in terms of the level of dedication to promoting his show to make it the best possible. I've seen weekend shows before, or even larger regional shows that didn't have nearly as much promotion as Archie was putting into it. And a lot of those times you have a team of people doing it. Archie was doing this by himself, and he would reach out to people. He would reach out to me, and it was just incredible the amount of time. I mean, to give you an idea, before the show, he'd post a list of the vendors. He would show previews of footage that he took at the show to show what it was like maybe for first time attendees. I know that a few times he would ask me to send pictures of some of my best cards that I was bringing with me to kind of build up hype for the show and to give people an idea of what to expect. Things that I can't say I see many other promoters, if any other promoters, do. And that's not a knock on anybody else, but Archie was always trying to make his show the best it possibly could be. He wanted his dealers to stay until the end so that if people had to come in late for whatever reason, they wouldn't feel like it was a waste of their time because the show was already half empty at that point. He wanted to make sure every table was filled and that everybody was doing well. He'd go around asking how people were doing. Really poured his heart and soul into it, and someone who really had a passion for the people in the card business rather than just the cardboard and some of the more how should I put this? Some of the things that don't definitely don't mean as much in the larger picture. And I'm sorry that I'm a little lost for words in this video. I normally don't trip over myself as much, but it is difficult to articulate exactly um, what Archie meant to me and try to explain it to those who might not have known him. But in addition to kind of memorializing Archie and reflecting what a great man this is, I wanted to share this because I know a lot of people, as I said, probably who watch the card show vlogs and are local to either my area or up in the Indianapolis area, whatever the case may be. If you know Archie, there is this GoFundMe that is going on right now. If you feel so inclined to make a contribution, this is to help with some of the afterlife care uh, for his wife and his family. I've donated myself already. I plan to donate again at some point here, as I still digest this information. But I would like to put this out there. A friend of mine, Bryce, is matching donations. I believe it's for every $500 that is donated. He's going to be contributing more. I forget exactly what the details is, but I know that it depends on as people contribute more and more. Bryce is kind of doing a matching thing because he again is one of those dealers who was profoundly impacted by Archie. And I wanted to just put this out here to if you are so inclined, or if you want to leave a message of support for his family, that you could also do that as well. But this is I think that it's times like this where we really take a step back and think about those who we have connected with in the card community, and how much this hobby has brought people together, how many relationships I know that myself that I have built simply through sports cards. And it's something that sometimes we don't always think about. I think it's sometimes something that we take for granted. And I think it's important to remember those things. And it sucks that, I say this now when, only in the light of this unfortunate news, but it is something to keep in mind. Personally, I'm struggling with this one a little bit because I had intended to go to the Plainfield show back in March. I had a few things come up, and I wasn't able to make it out. And I got to tell you, I'm a little upset with myself over that. Especially now, I know that hindsight's 2020, but it definitely hurts. I will say that. So that is going to be it for today. I originally was scheduling for the part 2 vlog for the Dallas show to come out today, but obviously this is going to take center stage here. I wanted to make sure that this was put out today. So I'm going to push back a couple of things. The vlog will be Thursday this week, and then some of the other things I had planned I'm going to postpone for next week because I wanted to put the focus here on a man who had a great impact in my journey and helped shape me into who I am. Learning from a lot of the things that he did well and what a lot of people respected him for, and trying to become a better person off of inspiration from him. So that's all for today's video. Thank you very greatly for taking the time to watch this one, especially if you did it in its entirety. Until then, take care, stay safe, and be kind.